What is up, guys? This is Astranox. I'm going to be covering the Mystic rotation pool that is coming up. We've got ML Lidica, Faithless Lidica, and yeah, check these heroes out. I mean, we've got Violet in there, we've got ML Achates, we've got Durandal, pretty solid artifact on some heroes. Even these 4-star heroes, I mean, you can definitely use them. I mean, if you need these heroes, you can use them. You can also use them for memory imprints on their ML counterparts. So that's really cool as well, because these ML heroes actually, auxiliary lots, Wanderer Silk, not so much, but Blade Karin, Assassin Cartuja, these are very powerful heroes, so definitely solid there for memory imprints. But the fact that we've got Faithless Lidica plus Violet, in the same rotation, Durandal, really solid. We even have Moonlight Dreamblade, which is insane, part of this whole rotation, because you can use that on Violet as well. Very, very cool. So also Aurius and Sira-Ren. So I'll be starting with Faithless Lidica. I'm going to talk about ML Achates after that. Then I'll talk about the God Violet, Durandal, these 4-star heroes, and the 4-star artifacts. So let's start it off with Faithless Lidica. Hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you still haven't, guys, if you enjoyed this video. So her kit is actually quite powerful for PvP, can be used in PvE as well, because she actually uses skill 2 before skill 3 with the AI. So when I'm gonna go and preview skills, you'll see that she does use skill 2 first. So we've got decreased hit chance, 75% chance here for 1 turn. Solid debuff there. You've got the AoE attack that has a 100% chance to dispel 1 buff, and then increase her own combat readiness by 25% per target, and all other allies by 5% per target. So imagine you're in arena against 4 targets. So she's actually getting 100% combat readiness after using the skill, on top of removing 1 buff and boosting her whole team's combat readiness, the other 3 allies by 20% if there's 4 targets. So that is insane to start off the battle. Then you've got the fact that she cannot be counterattacked, because the description here is messed up. It's supposed to be the skill cannot trigger a counterattack, because it doesn't make any sense that's a dual attack, because skill 2 cannot trigger a dual attack anyways. And this is an AoE attack, meaning it can't even trigger Sword of Judgment. It has to be a single attack. So yeah, there is that. Counterattacks, counter set, ML can, all heroes that can counterattack, plus Elbrus Ritual Sword, these things will not trigger, which is huge, allowing her to just straight up go with like this thing. And if they don't have Fallen Cecilia protecting their team, with barrier plus immunity set, the problem is that this removes 1 buff, and if they have Fallen Cecilia, the barrier will be stripped. The barrier will be taken off before the immunity set. So that's the problem with ML Bell as well. So that's definitely a con. But if you use her in real-time arena, let's say, and you just straight up ban their Fallen Cecilia, assuming they even picked her, or assuming that you didn't pick her first, then, I mean, you're going to be able to do your combo of using skill 2 into skill 3, unless, of course, you get outsped. But assuming that you go first, right, that is very, very strong, because you're going to be able to remove their immunity sets. You're going to be able to just put the cooldowns of whoever hero to the maximum, which is insane. Let's say if they have a Crimson Armin and you just put her skills on cooldown, or any hero that are like game changing, that is huge. Let's say they have immunity set, you outspeed them, they don't have Fallen Cecilia, like they have a Desert Jewel Bazaar, let's say, and you put his skills on cooldown before he goes and applies debuff immunity on their whole team, let's say, something of the sort. Or it could be any hero that that they're gonna go, like it could be a Maid Chloe. So very, very strong, allowing you to just nullify their like super powerful buffs that are coming. Like Maid Chloe is definitely a solid example. Like, could you imagine her going off with her skill 3 VIP treatment. Nullifying that and putting her skill 3 on cooldown is huge, but so many different combinations can be done. And the fact that she uses skill 2 before skill 3 is definitely very cool. I noticed that and I was like, man, definitely can be used on auto even in PVE, because I mean her kit is quite powerful, and putting skills on max cooldown even for bosses, could be Abyss, could be Raid, could be, well, hunts, there's better options, but she also has decreased hit chance, which doesn't work against bosses in the hunts, by the way, if you were wondering. So let's move on to ML Achates, but you know, ML Lidica, Faithless Lidica, a lot of players will be pulling for her. A new hero, breath of fresh air, and definitely a very solid kit. And especially with real-time arena right around the corner, we'll definitely see a lot of play out of her. Okay, so ML Achates, I feel like she's getting outshined by heroes like Maid Chloe and Ruel of Light, you know, because this thing, it allows you to bring back a hero back to life, but they only have 1 HP when they come back to life, or like barely any HP at all. So that's an issue. But if you are able to use this thing on a hero that's still alive, you're giving them immortality and 2 random buffs for 3 turns. And if you're able to bait their attacks onto that hero, no matter how much damage they're gonna deal, that hero is gonna stay alive with 1 HP. That is huge, and you have a lot of bait options when you do use her. But the problem is, if they are able to remove your buffs, you're in big trouble. She's just gonna, I mean, whoever has the immortality will die. But a lot of different scenarios where you can use her and where she can shine, but you're gonna have to make sure that you're able to bait the attacks and to you know, whoever you're gonna. I was doing it with ML Ken, I was doing it even with Kra, was doing some cool fights like that. And if you have like a full dark team and like ML Ken's at the lowest HP threshold, and you're able to put that on him before he dies, let's say, then you're able to just have him get attacked and counter-attack non-stop, which is cool, but it's quite situational, and there's a lot of teams that could counter it just with like a dispel could take out this whole combo out the window. But combined with Karin, you see, you must have seen shooting Star Achates, ML Achates paired with Karin in Guild War, even on defense. You might have seen that combo in arena defense earlier, not so much anymore, but I mean, let's say Karin gets a buff, or I mean, it can definitely be used on offense if you know they can't counter you. So that's that. This balance HP of herself and the target of your choosing, and it also heals on top, so you don't even need to be at max HP on herself or the target. It's a very powerful ability, because even if you have unhealable, you can actually balance the health anyways. It's just you won't be able to have the healing on top that happens afterward, but still a very powerful skill right there, especially like when she let's say the target that you're balancing your HP with has like a really high HP, and she could be built with like more defense, and she's still gonna be able to like bring that other hero like 20,000 HP up and stuff like that, because she balances the HP. So decrease hit chance here. She's definitely usable in PvP, but she definitely gets outshined. But there are some situations where she can be very, very strong, especially, like I said, if you're able to bait the enemy into whoever you're giving immortality. The fact that you're able to, if you keep that hero alive that is squishy with really high offense, let's say Karon's much easier to do it with, because he already gets immortality when he like receives fatal damage. That's why it's a really good combination. But the fact that we got Seaside Bellona with enable to be buff, debuff, that's definitely a problem. But if you have immunity sets, and I mean, she has very low speed, but you can do some cool things with her still. You know, it's still very usable in PvP, and I'm sure she's going to be seeing some play in real-time arena Definitely, especially if they don't have any dispelling, and let's say they can't avoid doing some AoE attacks, even like have her paired with like ML Ken. If like they can't avoid attacking ML Ken and you wanna like they don't have any dispel, yeah, there's so many different situations. It's gonna come down to deciding if you're gonna pick her near the end, if you see that they can't really counter her mechanic, and even if they have on heal mode, she can balance the HP. Definitely can see some play there. So Violet, man, he's such a god. This hero, man, he even got buffed. The fact that he's able to remove 2 debuffs with this skill number 2, and when it's on cooldown, it increases his evasion by 35% chance. So every time you miss Violet and he has this thing on cooldown, man, he can counter attack with Graceful Cut, which is skill 1. Potentially decreasing their attack, and that's cutting their attack in half. So this thing has a very high chance of triggering. It's 75% chance, and you can even soul burn for 100% chance for only 10 souls, and it's gonna last 2 turns instead of 1. So that's cool. But the greatest thing is the whole kit together, right? And after skill ups, man, he becomes a beast. Some players don't skill up skill 2. I did it on my account number 1. I have him at plus 15 actually. Use him extensively in Guild War offense, even defense. I use him on arena defense, I believe still. So yeah, he can be quite tanky. He can be built as a bruiser. His defense is kind of garbage, but you can have a decent amount of HP on him, and with the whole evasion mechanic on lifesteal set with the counter attacks kicking in, you can restore some HP back. Plus you've got 15% HP restored with skill 2, which is really cool. And this thing, the beautiful thing about this skill is when you have full focus, you're able to use it back to back. So when you use this thing at full focus, it doesn't put a cooldown on skill 3, so that's why you can use it back to back. And especially if you have Moonlight Dreamblade on him and you get the attack buff, you can do some crazy amount of damage. Even when this thing is maxed out and even without the attack buff, you can do so much damage, and you can even do some really cool things. Maybe he's only your only damage dealer and you're using him against a team that has sustain. You're able to, like, let's say you potentially do a counter attack and then you go and you use skill 3 with full focus. So imagine that spike damage. Counter attack skill 1 and 2 skill 3 and 2 skill 3 again. So you have the you could potentially burst down a lot of like really tanky heroes with this combo, but the damage is ridiculous. The constant decrease attack is huge as well. I mean, you bring him against Dizzy and a lot of times I see him just straight up counter attacking non-stop passively and just taking her out by himself as I'm working on some other stuff, like working on killing someone else on their team, or maybe controlling one of their maybe their healer or something like that. So yeah, very, very strong, especially with Moonlight Dreamblade. But you can even use Vile's Talisman now that it got buff. So yeah, and you've got attack percentage, memory imprint, and self-attack percentage on self, which is definitely really cool too. If let's say you want to activate that and he's your only damage dealer, you can do that. So Durandal is a powerful artifact, especially like on Assassin Cartuja, man. There's a lot of those using Durandal. Before Fire Corvus got nerfed, he was Durandal was the artifact of choice. Sometimes you might see a Dark Corvus on defense. You can use Durandal on Dark Corvus if you're gonna use him on defense. The problem is he's not good enough for defense, but now that he can his memory imprint can apply to himself and it increases his health for himself, he's able to reach some ridiculous amount of HP. I'm talking like 35, even 40,000 plus. So at that point, you could potentially one-shot some heroes, some squishier heroes, even on defense with Durandal. He might just be too tough to take down. And I mean, here teams that have like just like pure cleave and stuff like that, they might just straight up not want to attack a really tanky team with a Dark Corvus, but it's definitely not the best choice to put on defense. But you can definitely use him on Guild War. Much better, he's much better on Guild War defense than on Arena defense, I would say, because less spike damage, less burst damage that can come your way. So Durandal, yeah, any sort of warrior, whenever you attack them and their HP is less than 75% chance, they will get that combat readiness. So it's actually very powerful. It's 16% when it's maxed out, so it's going to be 12% at plus 15 with one copy. Definitely very powerful. So these 4-star heroes, man. Auxiliary Lots, Memory Imprint from Lots, Wanderer Silk from Silk, Blade Karin from Karin, and Assassin Cartuja from Cartuja. So good for Memory Imprints. And if not, well, if you didn't get Karin for free before, for free, if you didn't get her from the event where you could get her with her skin, her swimsuit skin, then here's your chance. Maybe you want some more Memory Imprint for herself. Her self Memory Imprint is actually a crit chance. You could get a bit more, but team Memory Imprints don't affect the own hero. That's the thing. So you might need that extra bit of crit chance. Karin can be used, I mean, PvP, PVE, very powerful hero. So Karin, the burst of skill 2 and to skill 3, the fact that she can land, decrease defense, and then follow up with this thing, this skill actually has 50% crit damage increase. The burst is completely insane, and you can definitely delete a lot of targets. I mean, you can definitely delete a hero in PvP. You could use her on Guild War offense, is definitely where you would use her more often. You would not put her on defense though in PvP, but she might see some play in real-time arena. But if she can't get that decreased defense to happen, then yeah, she's definitely not gonna be so powerful. So she's mostly used in Wyvern teams. Crazy amount of damage. Having Daydream Joker on her does boost her damage a lot. The 50% crit damage helps with the Daydream Joker damage increase as well, and decreased defense helps with boosting Daydream Joker's damage of herself and the whole team. Whoever is using it, anyone attacking the boss will have their damage increase because decreased defense is applied on the target. Can use her even in raids. So that's, yeah, very strong hero. And here's your chance to get her if you don't have her and you wanted her. And Silk you can get for free, so not so exciting, but maybe you want Memory Imprints for Wanderer Silk. Auxiliary Lots, very powerful, so you could Memory Imprint him, and that's attack percentage for the top and front position. If you want to cleave and squeeze a bit more extra damage, then feeding Lots into Auxiliary Lots, here's your chance. But Lots got buffed, and now he can heal with 2 skills. And yeah, 20% combat readiness for the whole team with this thing. You could go and use Lots and Auxiliary Lots together. Like, let's say in Guild Wars, you can do some pretty crazy stuff, allowing to give 100% combat readiness to the same hero twice. Definitely allowing you to do some pretty crazy stuff. So there is that. But he can definitely be used in PvE as well. You know, attack break is very powerful, 75% chance. Plus some healing here, plus some healing here, plus continuous healing is 15% healing on on each target on your team when they have that thing. Every time it ticks, every time they go. So that's a pretty high amount of healing during the whole long battles, whatever, during a whole raid. Very powerful. So we have Sira-Ren in this rotation, can be used on a wide array of mage heroes. Very annoying to deal with, be it PvP or PvE. These debuffs are very powerful, but especially in PvP, man, because like bosses cannot be silenced in most cases. And sleep in PvP, man, very dangerous if it does happen. And there's so many situations where this artifact messed up my whole team in PvP when they were super lucky. Aurius, definitely go-to artifact for knights in PvE and in PvP. Make sure you don't power make sure you don't limit break this artifact too much, because your knight wearing it might be taking too much damage whenever the enemy team is doing some cleaving, some AoE damage, some area damage against your whole team. It's definitely gonna hurt your knight. If they can't survive by themselves already, forget it. When they receive that damage being redirected onto them, wow. So yeah, definitely very solid to increase your team's survival. And Moonlight Dreamblade, such an amazing artifact. Even Arbiter Vildreds are wearing that, allowing them to be really annoying. And that's when it's maxed out, it's 20% evasion. And when you do evade, you increase your attack by, for 1 turn. So, yeah, so Violet wearing that thing is definitely annoying. The best thing about this is that you're getting that evasion right away. So it's 15% at plus 15, 20 at plus 30. So, but you need a few copies for that. Definitely very powerful because you have the full amount right off the bat. So you could have like Arbiter Vildred with Moonlight Dreamblade with Assassin Cartuja in the team, allowing Assassin Cartuja to boost your evasion by another 15%. You could have Moonlight Dreamblade on Mirsa that was recently buffed. Evasion Goddess, and something like 85% evasion or something of the sort when she's paired with Assassin Cartuja with Moonlight Dreamblade, something like that. So very strong artifact. And these 3-star heroes, maybe you have Guider Ether and you want some extra copies of Ether there, and maybe you want to get Clury to build Falconer Clury. Still a very powerful hero, especially with the skill ups that cost Stigma and Catalyst now, much easier than using more like auras. Clury is still very powerful in PvE, especially can be used in PvP for sure. And a solid rotation with new hero Faithless Lidica, which if you like to do PvP and you have a decent amount of speed, you can do some pretty crazy stuff with this hero, especially if you you don't need to have an insane amount of effectiveness. The fact that you can soul burn and ignore effect resistance, especially if you have Tegil's Ancient Book and you can just make this thing happen early on. Skill 2 and 2 skill 3 is gonna be beautiful if they don't have Fallen Cecilia with immunity sets. But that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Let us know if you're gonna be pulling on this rotation. I guess we'll see what the next rotation is, but if you do need Violet, if you don't have Violet and you wanted to pull for Faithless Lidica, you're really lucky that it's happening on the first rotation, because a lot of players, they just see that new natural 5-star Moonlight hero and they're just gonna be like pulling anyways. But if you also need Violet or even maybe Memory Imprints for him, then here's your chance. So good luck to everyone. Thanks for watching. Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon to be notified whenever I release a new video. And check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. Playlists of all sorts. Arena, Guild Wars, Guys, Tips, and How-Tos, and Abyss for 62+. So check those out if you haven't. And also, join my Discord server. We have over 700 members now. So come join the fun. And like I said, good luck with all you do. And peace out for now. Let me just cleave them. Let me just cleave. One shot. One shot, boom! So much damage, man. From Celestial Mercedes, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay, alright, I'll be pulling. I'll be pulling on one of my 3 accounts. But I have Mystic Medals all over the place. So we'll see what happens. Alright, peace out for now.